Good evening. Chris McAnderson, 27 CBC, Buffalo, New York. And tonight, I'm going to be uncovering a story of tragedy to triumph. I'm going to be telling the story of Mike Regali, a 17-year-old from Compton, California. His life began to spiral down, and just when he thought he was going to hit rock bottom, he found light in his time of darkness. We went from Buffalo, New York to Leyland, California, where we met Mike Regali. I understand you're from Leland in Compton,
I am, yeah.
Los Angeles. When was the last time you saw Juan Pablo Martinez? I understand that he goes by Scotty Daniels, or
Yeah.
I mean, could you maybe explain that? Go off
Yeah.
of that, because
Yeah, no, I can. Well, I call him Scotty Daniels because, like you said before, his name was Juan Pablo Martinez. And he was kind of embarrassed, I guess you could say, that his name sounds so Mexican or Latino. And like you said before, I do live in Leland, outskirts of Compton, and it's predominantly black. So Mexicans, Latinos, Spanish, all that, all those races, wherever you're from, they're kind of set as a target. So he had me call him Scotty Daniels to kind of cope with that.
And from what I understand, Juan was murdered by a gang, the 88s, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he was murdered by the 88s, and
Now, are those from Leland?
yeah, no, they're from Leland.
Okay.
I'll tell you how it went. We was walking out of Stewart Shops. It's on Fifth and Bronxton actually, and we both got the orange creamsicle soda pop. Scotty loved that, but anyway, we're walking to go to my house and then his house, and I noticed a black Lincoln Continental with Luxor rims actually following us for an unusual amount of time. So I kind of got skeptical.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, basically I was just like, Scotty, fuck this, like we gotta go. And he said,
No, Mike. People are naturally good. There's nothing to worry about.
Shit. I guess you're right. I was still spooked though. He said that Genesis 1:27, I believe, says
That God created mankind in His own image, in the image of God. He created them, male, female. He created them. Psh! Ain't you been listening to your mom? That crazy old lady, always saying God is good. God is good. Well, Mike, if God is good and people are made in God's likeness, that means people must be good
Lincoln
too.
Continental kept following us, and by the time I got by my house, it was still there.
You just left Scotty in the street and went inside?
No, actually, I told him to come inside till the SUV leaves, till it would have been safe. He told me that there was nothing to worry about, and he had to go, because
Mi madre is making papas fritas por la cena en 15 minutos.
So he left. That was the last time I saw Scotty.
Understand that Scotty's funeral, moved you. Would you be able to explain that?
Yeah. Scotty had a closed casket, because the back of his head was missing, along with countless pieces of his skull. I know a big piece of his cheekbone. Forensics says that he was shot, facing the opposite direction. So that means, someone shot him from behind. When he wasn't ready when he wasn't looking.
Is that all that forensics?
He still had his orange creamsicle soda pop from Stewart's. Who the fuck shoots someone from behind? Who fucking does?
Mike, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks.
I hope you don't mind. Just kind of wanted to get back to the funeral. Is anything said? Anything?
Actually, yeah. Genesis 1:27 was recited by Father Abrams, I believe, at the funeral. Scotty loved that verse. He actually said it, just a few days earlier.
So how did that impact you?
I started to cry because I knew, Scotty would never say that verse again, let alone speak again. Actually, not because he was mute, not because he didn't want to talk, because he was dead. My best friend was dead.
So I understand from reports, the research, authorities said that there are 3 people in custody from the 88s that are responsible.
Yeah, actually,
for Scotty's death.
3 dark-skinned males, ranging from 5'10" to 6'2" in height, and 185 pounds to 240 pounds in weight, from a black Lincoln Continental with license plate registering ZH-977X.
Very specific. Just, a couple more questions. Did you pull anything from that day?
Yeah, I actually did. I pulled 2 things, actually. One, God ain't good, and people ain't good. And 2, they're gonna pay.
This is when Michael began his downward spiral. He joined the 138 Crips, started using cocaine, and dropped out of high school. For fun, Michael would record himself assaulting random pedestrians. Here we have a video. Michael soon fell deeper into gang activity. In this video, he is shown flaunting his drug persona.
Fuck around, you see me. You need an AK and a genie, a whole pound of Wheaties. My heart so freezy, 3D birdie to the click you claim. Victory's my Valentine, I'm in a different lane. Strongest cocaine, long as I'm sane, I won't be took for games. I can guarantee when it's over, you won't look the same. Drowning in shame, calling my names like calling Candyman. Suicide, I'm the splatter your brainy band. Understand, this ain't an obstacle, it's comical. The shades you wear been blinding you. Everyone knows what I'ma do. Everyone knows I'm liable, full Betty, come on phenomenal, deadly rich.
In the days following Juan Pablo's funeral, Mike Regali went to 727 Oakwood Drive to find a house, but not just any house, a house of those responsible for Juan Pablo's death. Mike Regali was later arrested for aggravated assault using a baseball bat. Only reason he wasn't sent to prison is because he's 17 years old. So he was sent to a juvenile detention center down in Pensacola, Florida, where he eventually met Coach Hines. So, Coach Hines, thank you very much for
That's not a problem. Not a problem at all. Thank you for having me. Actually,
not a problem. When you first met Michael, what did you think of him?
Well, I'll tell you this. I meet each of my kids face to face the first time. Many people say, Coach, don't you think that's dangerous, or you don't know what these kids are capable of. But instead of assuming that these kids are bad, that these kids have something wrong with them, or just naturally not good, I choose to give them a chance to have a first impression on me. But I remember my meeting with Michael particularly. Actually, I remember shaking his hand, and I remember looking into his eyes, and I remember struggling so hard to try to see what was inside, to try to see his soul. And I knew from that day on that it would be very, very hard to break Michael Regali.
So, Coach Hines, would you be able to explain, how you kind of get through to these kids, help them better themselves?
My methods, like my
Yes,
okay,
yeah,
yes,
your methods.
I can. I use the game of football as, I guess you could say, a smaller, simpler, less complicated version, essentially, of what life really is. When you get knocked down, you got to get up. Using the game of football, I teach these kids that it's not how many times you get knocked down, you get put on your ass, you get put on your butt. It's about how you can get up.
So, Coach, you are saying that football kind of turned Michael away from, gangs or, violence?
Gang violence.
Okay.
I would say yes. Yes, definitely.
And, would you be able to explain how football managed to get Michael on the right track?
Yes, I could. Well, our team was called the Mustangs, and obviously everyone on the Mustangs is an inmate in my facility. Now, I don't make them play football. The kids choose to. So they come from all sorts, gangs, rival gangs. And in Michael's particular case, he actually had to be a teammate of someone of the gang, the 88s, who I learned were responsible for the death of his beloved friend, Juan Pablo. Michael was not exactly, sportsmanlike towards Dimitri, the one with the relationship to the 88s. You could say he was actually unsportsmanlike until the day we played the Oilers. I think Juan Pablo's brother, Sandoval, I believe it was, came to our game, hopped the fence onto the offensive zone, and then actually shot Dimitri in the collarbone. Michael was the nearest to the shooter, walking towards Dimitri at the time, and he had two decisions. One, just let it happen. This man was an 88. Pablo died. Why does he deserve to live? He should, get shot right now, just like they shot Pablo. Or option two, stop this. Because this gang violence is just going to go back and forth and back and forth, and there's going to be a new Pablo, there's going to be a new Dimitri, they're just going to keep killing, because that's what this is all about, basically. It's retaliation kills.
So, what did Michael do?
Michael put an end to gang violence by saving Dimitri's life, and not letting another one of his brothers, teammates, friends, become a victim of gang violence.
And more recently, Michael Regali is pursuing a bachelor's degree at the Florida State University in criminal justice, and is also volunteering at the juvenile facility he was held at himself, giving lectures to young adults who share similar stories. I'm Chris McAnderson. That is it for tonight from 27 CBC Buffalo.